Hey everyone, I haven't done a video in a very long time, so I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you my updated PS4 game collection. Right, so the first game, which I've had for a long time, is Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. This is a really good game. I had played Uncharted 2 and 3 before I got this, but I hadn't played Uncharted 1. Absolutely recommend it for anyone who enjoys the Uncharted series and is looking to play the first three games. Very good series, so I definitely recommend getting Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. Number 2 is Persona 5. I had actually never played a Persona game. This was my first, and I got the Steelbook edition. So you've got this little sleeve, which is kind of like that. Tells you about the game, and then you've got the actual game itself. Really fun game. Really enjoyed it. I've unlocked the new Game Plus version, but sort of mode. But I've moved on to other games. But definitely looking forward to getting back to this. For those of you who don't know about this game, it's a turn-based RPG. Really JRPG. Sorry. Really good game. Very fun. So definitely recommend it. And you can get it for a pretty good price now because it's a little bit older. Next we have Mafia 3. I remember getting this for a really low price. That was primarily the reason why I purchased it. I think it was like £8 or something, so I bought it. It's alright, it's not as good as Mafia 2 in my opinion, but and I haven't given it much time, so I do need to go back in and play a little bit more with this, because I think it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Right, next is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I've had this from the very beginning, essentially. It's a great game. For me, I'm stuck somewhere sort of about 2/3 through the game, and I haven't continued it because there have been other games that have sort of taken up my time. It is quite different. It's an open world game, which I've played a dozen of those, or more than that, sort of since getting the PS4, but yeah, I haven't played Witcher 1 or 2, so I would recommend it, but it's slightly different to some of the open world games that I've played. Next, we've got Injustice 2. Didn't pick up Injustice 1, but this is by NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brothers, so I thought I'd give it a go. It's quite a fun game. It's not the very best fighting game you'll play, but it's a fun enough game, and if you're a DC fan, then then it's it's a great game to play. So definitely try that if you're a DC fan. The next one is Mad Max. This again I picked up very cheap. I think it was like £6 from Asda, brand new. I think they were having a clearance sale or something, so I got it. It's very different. It's the open world, obviously, but it's very different in terms of the environment because it's all sands and stuff like that. It is. I wish I'd spent more time on this game. I haven't finished it. I'm about 20% of the way there, possibly 25%. You've got this car, this one, which you just drive around and you complete missions and things like that. So it's actually a really good game, but I haven't spent enough time with it, and it's one that I definitely want to start spending more time on. Next, Street Fighter 5. I've had this for a long time. It is a reasonably good game. It's been made better since launch, because when it launched as a very bare bones sort of game. Didn't really think much of it at the time. The fighting on Street Fighter games is always good, but the actual content just wasn't enough at the time. It's got better now. There's more modes, and there's an arcade mode and things like that, so that's good. It just, I think because I was initially disappointed with what was included, I didn't go back to this, but it's something that I've got, and I'll go back into at some point. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Again, it's a Capcom fighting game. Unfortunately, it just doesn't have enough content, and none of the X-Men characters are there. It is fun, definitely a lot of fun, but there just isn't enough content to keep you playing for more than a few hours, I would say. After that, you're going to move on to something else. But if you can get it for a good price, then I would definitely recommend it. Next is Rayman Legends. I picked up Rayman Origins on the 3. I played that. That was quite fun. So my sister got this for my birthday a few years ago. It is a fun game. Definitely play it if you enjoy side scrollers and sort of 2D side scrollers. It's definitely a lot of fun. So give this a go. It's quite cheap now, so you can get it for a good price. Look at Argos or something. Next we have Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. As you can see, it's unopened. The reason I haven't opened it yet, it's not because it's a bad game or anything like that. It's because I purchased 3 games together, and I didn't want to. I wanted to play those other 2 games first because they were sort of shorter games and games which I could complete in less time. And I thought I'll dedicate. Oops, excuse me, my hand is just really shaky. I'll dedicate more time to this one when I finish those 2. So this is kind of gets its own time, whereas the other 2 I share the time between the 2. Next we have Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. I played all 3, completed all 3, not 100%. Yeah, if you're a Crash Bandicoot fan, you've got 3 games here. Certainly for younger gamers as well, although there are lots of challenging levels, particularly in the first game. But it's a lot of fun for people looking to relive the first 3 games, and younger gamers will get a lot of fun out of this trilogy. So it's got over 100 levels, so this will take you a while to complete. Next we have Dragon Age Inquisition. I love Dragon Age games. I didn't play Dragon Age 1, but I played number 2, and number 3 obviously is this one. I thought it was a really good game. The combat is good. It's a really fun game. Unfortunately, I sort of went in and out of this game, so I started playing this, then I moved into something else, then played this again, then something else. So I didn't play it continuously, and that's a bit of a shame because actually it's a pretty good game. So definitely, if you can, pick it up. I think it's dirt cheap now because it's an older game. Next, we've got Mega Man 11. I picked this up quite recently. Confession time, I actually have never played a Mega Man game before. This was my very first one. Partly because, I don't know, I think because I hadn't played the first few Mega Man games, when games like Mega Man 9 and 10 and so on came out, I was too old, not too old, but too late to the party, essentially. I'd missed so many of the games, so I just thought it's hard for me to feel the nostalgia of those, Mega Man 9 and 10 when I hadn't played 1, 2, 3, and so on. So I picked up Mega Man 11. It's in this new sort of style, using the gear system. On one you've got 2 gears. You can basically make your character more powerful for a short period of time, or it says speed up time, but it actually feels like you're slowing down time. But either way, those are good powers. I've almost finished this. It's a good game. I picked it up dirt cheap for about £10, so definitely recommend it if you can get it, then definitely get it. Next we have Batman Arkham Knight. I enjoyed Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. This is, of the 3, I think this is the worst because there's just so many missions with the Batmobile, but it's still a good game, and you can get it now for a very low price. So if you can, if you're looking for a new game to get into something new, then definitely pick that up. Next we have Nier Automata. Never played any of these sort of games before. Really loved it. A lot of fun. Really, really good game. The only part that was so disappointing to me, and I'm still sort of disappointed about it, is the fact that you've got the story is not very, very long. It's about 12 hours or 10 hours, and the 10 hours flew by. And I know there's multiple endings, and you can play as different characters, and it's slightly altered each time, but it's just not enough. You finish the game, and then when you play as someone else, or you try and go for a different ending, it's pretty similar to the previous endings, if I'm honest. It's not, you'll change something and it'll be a small change. You're not essentially experiencing a brand new story or adventure or anything like that. But if you don't mind the fact that it's not 40 hours like everyone's been saying it is, then, and you're looking for something to play for 12 to 15 hours, this is so much fun. The combat is so amazing. You've got the shooting elements, you got the riding of the machines. It's just, if you can get this for a good price, then definitely get it. Next we have Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. I got this a very long time ago, about 2 years ago I would say, and I really loved it. It's a fantastic game. It's one of those games that you need to have in your collection. I haven't touched it in about 2 years, but it's a fantastic game. I will replay it at some point. The graphics are amazing. The gameplay is a little bit more sort of the environments are more open. Definitely a step up from the previous three games. And it's one of those games that I just can't give away or sell or anything like that, because you can't have a PS4 and not have this game. Next we have Spyro Reignited Trilogy. I picked this up recently, again on the back of the success of the Crash Bandicoot games, Insane Trilogy. You've got Spyro 1, Spyro 2 and Spyro 3. You basically have to download these two games. There's no code or anything like that. The games are already sort of, once you put in the disc, it's part of the day one or initial update. It's a lot of fun. The stages are very colorful, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. I would say this is probably more suited for younger people and people who are looking to experience the nostalgia which they remember from when they were younger, playing the initial games on the PlayStation. Next is Mortal Kombat 11. I'm a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I've had all of the main games. When I picked up Mortal Kombat X before this, I got rid of Mortal Kombat X when I got this because that game was quite good. This compared to that is amazing. I want to say it's almost as good as Mortal Kombat 9. Basically, you get 25 characters, including the pre-order bonus Shao Kahn, which you just know it's going to become a DLC at some point. Great story, great sort of revamp to the fighting. It's not so much rush to your character and destroy them. You have more of a fighting chance, particularly if you're not as good at this game. So it's definitely a good game. They have made the grinding a bit easier. I still wouldn't say it's super easy, but there's a lot of items to unlock, and if you play this for about 30 minutes to an hour, you will unlock several things. So you always feel like you're being rewarded for things. Maybe some of those are just like alternative costumes and things like that, but each character has like 60 plus alternative costumes and weapons and things like that. So it's a good game, I would say, and you can customize your character to a small extent. Finally, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. This game is a great game. Everyone will tell you it's a great game. I loved it as well. I didn't enjoy it as much. Oops, excuse me, my hand is shaking again. I'm trying to avoid having my hands all over the screen. Right. This game is a great game, but it's not as good as the original Red Dead Redemption, I feel. Graphics are so much better. There's a lot more to do. It's a bigger game, definitely much bigger game. I just enjoyed Red Dead Redemption 1 a little bit more than this. And I still think this is a great pickup, especially now that the price has come down. I hope there's some DLC, single player DLC, because I primarily I play single player. I don't tend to play online so much, so definitely pick this game up, and hopefully we'll see some more DLC coming up in the future. An Undead Nightmare style sort of adventure would be really, really good for this game. I also have one last game, which is actually a game that I've downloaded. I tend not to download my games because I prefer to just have the physical copies. I just feel a connection to physical games, which I don't feel with digital games. However, at the time, Sonic Mania was only available digitally, so I downloaded it. It's a very, very fun game. You've got a lot of nostalgic stages, some new stages as well. This came out, I believe, in 2017. I'm amazed that they haven't announced or released a follow-up to this game because it's so much fun. There's a lot to do. The new, the Sonic Mania Plus version adds 2 new characters, which they themselves bring in such a variety. You've got this gliding feature on one of them, and the other one just sort of has another special move. It's just, yeah, really, really fun game, money well spent, and hope that we see a Sonic Mania 2 or something to that effect. I think we need more of those Sonic games, because we've had a lot of disappointment from the 3D games, so I hope this continues, this 2D series continues. Right guys, so that's basically all of my games. I know I don't have that many, unfortunately I work full time, I don't have a lot of time to play during the week. I primarily play at the weekend, but I think I've got about 20 games, so that's enough for now. I do tend to get rid of older games I don't play anymore, because I just don't really like stacking them up if I'm never going to play them again or touch them again. So hope you've enjoyed this video.